Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. What caused the Ukrainian national airlines plane crash in Tehran remains an open question. However, representatives of the governments of the United States, Canada and the United Kingdom have claimed today that they have evidence of what brought the airliner down. The crash on Wednesday morning could have been the result of Iranian anti-aircraft fire. Iranian authorities have categorically denied any responsibility for the air disaster. 176, mostly Iranian Canadian citizens, died.
American and Canadian officials claim information showing that the jetliner was shot down. It crashed shortly after takeoff. The New York Times has published a record that allegedly confirms this information. Both U.S. President Donald Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau support this theory.
We have intelligence from multiple sources, including our allies and our own intelligence, that indicates that the plane was shot down by an Iranian surface-to-air missile. This may well have been unintentional. This new information reinforces the need for a thorough investigation of this matter. As the Prime Minister said today, Canadians have questions and they deserve answers. I would add to that that the world has questions and that the world expects answers.
I have my suspicions. It was very, I don't want to say that because other people have those suspicions also. It's a tragic thing. When I see that, it's a tragic thing. But somebody could have made a mistake on the other side. Could have made a mistake. It was flying. It was flying in not our system. No, it has nothing to do with us. It was flying in a pretty rough neighborhood, and somebody could have made a mistake. Some people say it was mechanical. I personally don't think that's even a question. Personally. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to get, that's up to them. At some point, they'll release the black box. Ideally, they'd get it to Boeing.
When should we expect to see sanctions on Iran following the attacks?
Immediately. It's already been done, yeah. We've increased them. They were very severe, but now it's increased substantially. I just approved it a little while ago with Treasury.
Who will they be against and what sort of sanctions?
Well, you'll see. I mean, we'll put out a minor announcement. It's actually a major event.
Representatives of each country whose citizens died will participate with Iranian officials in the investigation. Citizens of 7 countries were killed, including Ukrainian, Swedish, Afghani, German, British, and 82 Iranians and 63 Canadians.
Poland's parliament has overwhelmingly passed a resolution condemning statements made by Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Russian leader has, lately, strongly maintained that Poland played a significant part in causing the Second World War. Only one MP failed to vote.
The Parliament of the Republic of Poland condemns the untruthful statements made by the authorities of the Russian Federation purporting to assign blame to Poland for the outbreak of the Second World War.
Much emotion and controversy was generated by this photograph. The lone MP out of 460, Janusz Korwin-Mikke, refused to stand. MPs of his Confederation Party declined to comment on this extraordinary behavior. He was sitting over there, but I don't see him sitting over here. I can invite him over if you want. He will surely give a very interesting answer. Thank God I'm not Mr. Mike's spokesman, because this would be a difficult job. We are working together so well because in our party we don't have to agree, even on such important issues. You'd have to ask him. Korwin-Mikke attempted to explain himself afterwards via social media, emphasizing that he despises democracy. For the same reasons, I believe the parliament shouldn't take on such matters like the Nobel Prize in Literature for Olga Tokarczuk. I believe it shouldn't be discussing what stupid things the Russian president said. What is more, parliament's resolution was filled with trivial fragments straight from the history books. If parliament needs to legislatively declare historical truths, it means that the truths don't defend themselves on their own. Of course, in cases such as this, I wouldn't even appear in parliament, but I was surprised by a sudden change in the order of the proceedings. They say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. I prefer to live by the words of late Henrik Ibsen. The strong is the strongest when he's standing alone, even when he's sitting, not standing. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki had a different view on the matter, underlining the importance of Parliament leading a strong historical policy. Today, something important happened in the Parliament of the Republic of Poland. The provocative statements of Russian politicians falsifying Poland's history were met with a firm response by MPs of all political parties. A special resolution was passed unanimously by acclamation. I would like to sincerely thank all members of Parliament and encourage them more often to speak with one voice on matters important for the country.
On Sunday, the next final of the Great Orchestra of Christmas Charity will take place. Today, during a pre-event press conference, the leader of the orchestra, Jerzy Owsiak, spoke about how he interested the Chinese ambassador in the project and that he was given a woven silk picture with a fish motif to be sold at an auction during this year's final.
Thank you to all those from the world, from outside of Poland, who signaled to us that they are interested. A special thanks to the Chinese ambassador, who was the only one to answer our questions, and we sent them to all embassies, as we do every year. Could you support us with some gadget? And the Chinese ambassador said, I would like to meet you, Mr. Owsiak. And for an hour, the ambassador of China, a world superpower, was listening about what our foundation is doing. He did not talk about China. I did talk about Poland.
And in foreign news, an explosion at a mosque in Quetta in southwestern Pakistan killed at least 13 people, including a senior police officer, and wounded 20 others. Police said that an improvised explosive device had been planted at the mosque inside a seminary in the city on the border with Afghanistan and Iran.
The bomb went off during evening prayers on Friday. This was the second bombing in Quetta this week. Dr. Wasim Beg, a spokesman for the main hospital, told Reuters that 13 dead and 20 injured had been brought in, adding that many of the wounded were in serious condition. A senior police officer, Haji Amanullah, was among the dead. His son was killed by an unknown assailant last month. A spokesman for the Pakistan military said that paramilitary troops were conducting a search of the vicinity. The mineral and gas-rich region of Balochistan is at the center of the $60 billion China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is part of China's Belt and Road Infrastructure project. Violence in Balochistan has fueled concerns about the security of projects, such as planned energy link from western China to Pakistan's southern port of Gwadar.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business, and more programs. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.